And Michael, could you just reiterate what the prize is and sort of what's at stake here?
Sure. So this is the 9th CoinAgenda. Every CoinAgenda has a startup/ICO contest. In the beginning, there were no ICOs. They were all startups. We had 9 of them, and we awarded to the top 3. The winner actually flew in from India and was ZebPay, which went on to be one of the leading exchanges in India. At that first show, we had 90 people, and they represented 10 countries. People came from Greece, from China, and from Japan, from India. And so that's our Las Vegas show, which is a global show, although even our European and Asian shows usually represent people from all continents. Obviously, a few folks here from Asia, including Rex from Avon, in from Singapore, and Lon, of course, from several people from Malaysia actually here. And so we've expanded depending on sort of the number of companies presenting, because I think the most companies we had present was in Puerto Rico. We had 53 companies present, and we had 600 people attend. CoinAgenda Caribbean in Puerto Rico, which is part of Puerto Rico Blockchain Week that we co-founded. And our global show are our 2 largest shows. The global show will be our 5th in Las Vegas, October 23rd to 25th, and our CoinAgenda Caribbean will be next March. I believe it's the 15th to 17th. It's basically the weekend after South by Southwest Interactive. And for the smaller shows, we usually give top 3 prizes. I think what we're going to do is we're going to look and have the judges, and kind of new policies, I only announce the judges after we give out the awards so that nobody's kissing up to them, especially in the smaller shows. But we'll give a minimum of 3 awards, and we'll make it a judgment whether to give a 4th and a 5th, depending on whether we think the merit's there. I think there's 11 ICOs this time, and so usually only get 5 if there's at least 20 presenting. But we're gonna sort of, the top 3 will all top 3 to 5. The top 3 will all win CoinAgenda, free admission to a future, a full pass to a future event, and as well as free admission to a D10E, and free admission conference pass to a blockchain World Congress or blockchain any of Nils' shows. So we support each other's shows that way. And then we'll see about the 4th and 5th. The first prize, other than just the publicity of us announcing everybody, gets all the above, as well as gets an upgrade from their conference pass to a full booth at any of the shows, which usually most people take the global show or the Puerto Rico show because they're the largest. Although if you want to mainly market in Asia, you can do any of the shows for the next year. And so that's what the prizes are. I guess we have two more presentations.
All right, and just a reminder also, we're live streaming, so sometimes when I bring the microphone around, that's why I ask you to identify yourself, because people, if you don't use the microphone, then on the live stream, they don't hear you. And the same thing if you're a speaker, if you answer a question, make sure you hold the microphone, because this way it goes out to the larger audience. Wider audience. So anyway, our next presenter is Carl Kirchhoff, who's the CEO of SportsFix. Incidentally, he was also the winner of the last competition in Singapore. So let's give him a big warm welcome.
Thank you. Thanks very much. First and foremost, thanks Michael and CoinAgenda team for having me here. It was another stellar event with great people. I met a few very interesting companies. New partnerships on the horizon, which we will be announcing soon. So again, it was a great event. And let me explain a little bit more about what we do at SportsFix. So SportsFix, for a better lack of words, is the Netflix for sports on blockchain. where we started this, and this dated back 20 years ago when I was responsible for building or helped building UEFA Champions League, is the linear television model is broken, because the linear television model pretty much tells you what to watch, when to watch, how much you need to pay for. And we have seen it certainly in our own age, but the young generation even more is not willing to accept those anymore. We have cord shavers, cord cutters, and in fact cord nevers. So the problems which we're addressing are the 5 main problems. The first is it's a lack of transparency in the system. We have many middlemen who actually do a lot of markups, and their incentive is, in fact, not to tell the truth about the price, but it's the reverse. It's more like it's a smoking mirror tactic, which everyone uses to hype up the price, to mark up the price, to package up the price, and you end up with 200 TV channels and 199 you don't need, and the one you actually need is overpriced. The other fundamental problem is a centralized system. So the rights actually to many leagues like English Premier League, UEFA Champions League, and you name it, are sold centrally by a league structure. And in fact, the clubs hand out the most valuable product, which is the live game, handed out to agencies and then other agencies, and they have no control whatsoever. Back 20 years ago, when the TV distribution just started becoming more interesting with commercial TV, pay TV, this model seemed to have worked. But now, in the digital era, you have a highly fragmented ecosystem, and it's not going to work out anymore. Last but not least, the most important is actually the fan. We have the problem of the displaced fans. Fans meaning you cannot reach a physical stadium and you cannot watch it. Give you an idea, 600 million people outside of the UK are Man United fans, and not everyone can watch Man United. So if you can think of the money which Man United, for example, could make, right? They make 50 cents, offer a game at 50 cents to 600 million people. This is just one club. So that's the market we're talking about. What we have started in February 2017 is we started our company and we stream currently about 16 sports leagues, mainly local sports leagues, directly to the fans, leveraging best-in-breed technology from Amazon Web Services, Elemental, and you name it. We are a premium partner of Amazon, and stream it directly to the fans. What we have done so far in the last 12 months is we signed up more than 7 telco or mobile network operators, streaming to about 300 million people in Malaysia and Indonesia alone. We signed up retailers, wholesalers, and we created even our own tournament, the Boost SportsFix Super Cup, where we had about 200,000 views per game. So why blockchain? Blockchain, we don't necessarily tackle major technical problems with blockchain. Blockchain for us is we leverage sports to bring a crypto to the mass market. If you can consider we have 20 million wallets right now holding cryptocurrencies, we're looking into Southeast Asia and Asia. We will be launching our services in Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and even at the end of the year in China. We're looking at hundreds and millions of people. And the interesting situation is most of them are unbanked and they have no credit card. So we believe that we have the unique opportunity to leverage sports to bring crypto to the masses. Our system, which we have created, it's called the Digital Stadium Economy. And it's a self-contained system where fans stake tokens and actually vote for the content which they want to watch. And at the end, we have created a system where they earn tokens, lose tokens. It's the whole gamification model which we put underneath based on a big data infrastructure. And then we leverage machine learning technology and artificial intelligence. Rex has already mentioned it. That's pretty much how we're going to do it, to personalize, localize, and contextualize the content to the fans. How the stadium model works, we start with the bronze stadium. You can watch it like a streaming service, and then you go up. The more token you pledge, the higher you have the opportunity, the more you have the opportunity to release new product functions, new product features like crowdsourced commentary, which you may know from Twitch, where people with different languages, with different styles can comment and they can be tipped in SportsFix token for their performance. We have other features which we can unlock. The higher you're going to come, the more tokens you can use, and there's a whole reward and loyalty system around it. The most interesting, the Superfan Stadium, is where we finally recombine the live games, which we have acquired through a kind of crowdfunding from hundreds and millions of people, and combine it with the sports content of the football club, like trainings and everything else. So if you're a hard-dying fan, this is the ultimate package, which is not available because of the distribution system we have listed earlier before. Here's the model. So you either come in as a game day pass holder, a la carte. You come in for one game, or you pledge and stake tokens for the whole season. And based on this, we have created a system where we hand out tokens to football clubs, and those football clubs use those tokens as a game day pass, where we onboard new clients, and those new clients can watch a game for free, for example. So for us, our customer acquisition cost is almost zero because they send it through social media and we have them directly in our ecosystem. Why this is interesting for them to incentivize to come over to our system is if you pay with fiat, if you pay through direct operator billing, for example, you pay more. Everything what we have taken out of the ecosystem, from the middleman markup up to the telco operators who charge us 20 to 30%, we redistribute back to the fans in forms of token. And token economy finally allows us to create the ultimate usage model. So you stake 10 tokens, you use only 5, we're going to give you 5 back, and so on and so on. So based on the analytics platform which we're building, we will be able to finally create the ultimate usage model and unbundle content which has been bundled in the past. We also create another model around sponsorship and advertisers. So sponsors usually pay a lot of money, $30 million to sponsor a brick and mortar stadium. Based on data analytics and the dashboard which we will create for those clubs as well as for the sponsors, they will be able to pledge, let's say, $3,000 and get very highly targeted relationships and one-to-one relationships which do not exist. That's where Facebook and Twitter at the moment stand in between. But of course, they don't share any data with those sponsors. So that's the whole ecosystem which we're creating here based on the token economy. And it allows us to create a token price which gradually, like a stable coin, gradually increases in value, because we have the supply and demand of tokens at the beginning, more or less in a trusted system, and then hopefully as soon as we learn more about the customers and we can trust our customers, it will be a self-contained, trustless system. Our team, again, myself, 25 years in sports, building UEFA Champions League. My last company was actually Eversport, one of the largest live streaming companies for sports. Markus Luhr, my co-founder, 25 years in sports. He built one of the largest sports marketing agencies in Southeast Asia. He brought into Asia WWE. He's a co-founder of an MMA outfit called Glory. And then we hired a few other guys from the United States, from Malaysia. On the other side, on the advisor side, we have Michael Payne, who actually built the IOC top program, sponsorship program. He is a personal advisor to Bernie Ecclestone in this business for 35 years. And we have Phil Lyons, who actually was responsible for selling the English Premier League the last 12 years for hundreds and millions, if not billions, dollars per year. So we have a great team. At the moment, we have about 20 people, mainly in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. We started our private pre-sale about 2 weeks ago, just on the back of, Michael mentioned it already, winning the CoinAgenda in Singapore. Has been tremendous so far. Very happy with all the feedback. Apparently, not only fans like sports, but even investors like sports. We're raising $37 million right now, what we have given so far is anything between 30 and 50% discount. On the token allocation and utilization, when the fans vote for content, of course, content is king, and 60% will be used for acquiring new content, more premium content, to launch more into Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, all those Southeast Asian countries. And then by end of the year, we will be even able to launch in China. That's it for today. Thanks very much for your attention.
All right, awesome. In the back. So just again, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hello, I'm Adrian Scott, CEO of Soma Capital and head of technology for Decent Bet, a crypto casino. So I'm not really clear on the relationships with the teams and the broadcast rights and all that whole side of things and how that works within your system.
That's exactly why we do it, what we're doing. And that's exactly why we put everything onto the blockchain. No one knows exactly how it works. That's all smoking mirrors. What I can tell you is there's usually 4 or 5 agencies. So if there's a lot of time I can spend with you. It's 35 years of experience, but in short, rights holders, leagues sell the rights to an agency. The agency, big agency, sells to a smaller agency. The smaller agency sells to a small agent. The small agent sells to a cable company. The cable company packages the shit out of it, and then you pay the price for it. Sponsors are usually paying $30 million for a brick and mortar stadium, or go to advertising agencies. They don't have any visibility of the fans either. And the football clubs, they have handed over all the rights to the leagues, and they have no relationship as well. So our relationship is based on Marcus and my experience. We have access to almost every single sports entity in the world. Yeah, that's where our unique position comes in. Having built UEFA Champions League, having consulted UEFA and FIFA and all those associations for many, many years allows us, this is the trust which they have actually put into us and into our company. I was able, I think it's no secret, to launch Eversport with 10,000 live events in sports, professionally produced, and paying nothing.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Any other questions for Carl? Yep, over here. Tell us who you are, where you're from.
Thank you, Mark at Kuti. Carl, this is really exciting. One thing you didn't cover, and I'm just imagining, since you will be the global Eurosports, is the UX or the design of the setup as a viewer. You know, with all this sports content taking place around the world, I presume from a European perspective, or let's say a Manchester United fan in the US, I'll be able to click on a phone and see a Manchester game?
Sorry, what's the question?
The question is, I'm trying to visualize the design of SportsFX as a viewer. What will I be seeing? How will I have global content instantly wherever I am?
No, you don't have global content. To have global content, I would probably need about $1 trillion. So I start small. I start with some countries. We geo-block all those territories you can watch in Malaysia and Indonesia. And we have local content, because the content which is relevant for Malaysia is not relevant for Indonesia. To give an idea, Indonesia, for example, is a badminton country. Malaysia is a football country. Philippines is a basketball country, and so on. So we acquire very specific, very targeted the rights for the countries. We localize our websites with local language. We have our local websites, our local Facebook, local Twitter, local everything, because they don't speak English. We are in Southeast Asia and even more in China. They don't speak English. So we have everything localized. And of course, the end goal, and I've been working on this for the last 20 years, of the user experience, and that's where everything comes into. It's going to be an app. It's going to be a super app, which is available on iOS and Google. And of course, our challenge, I think all our challenge is the payment model, right? You have the opportunity here, I think, with blockchain and anything else, new technology, hopefully to facilitate the payment model, which is very cumbersome right now. You go into a website, you will be redirected to another website, then the credit card or the other transactor needs to look into it. It takes 4 or 5 seconds at least. If you're in a 3G environment, you lose your website, and so on. This is not the experience which you want. And we're working with very interesting partners on the payment side, which we actually will be announcing very soon.
Thank you.
Cool. Another question in the front. Again, I know who you are, but tell everyone else.
Leonard Border. Carl, if I'm watching the game, why can't I bet on the game?
If you want to bet on the game, that's a good question. It is not in our white paper, but there is no doubt there is a huge betting opportunity in Southeast Asia, and we have been working on this for many, many months already, and we're looking into a betting license for sure, where fans can bet, and everything on the blockchain will be transparent, of course.
Okay. There's the question. Oh, okay.
Rick Goddard from the ICO guys, Malta. This is very interesting, actually. I had this problem. I've just been out in Southeast Asia for myself at conferences, and I wanted to watch the World Cup, which there was slight restrictions in regards to different countries that would allow you to access different websites. So you're saying that this application will stop any restrictions in any country, or just the restrictions that you are allowing? Is that correct?
So we have a double system with AWS and Elemental for double geo-blocking and making sure everything is locked up, so you cannot watch if you're outside. Of course, there's always the same issue with regards to piracy and everything else, which in fact shows the demand for the content, and we need to create a level of convenience and experience, like Spotify, for example, where you say, I'm happy to pay something. If I'm not happy to pay something, at least I'm happy to engage with a sponsor, which subsidizes then my content on my behalf.
Okay, good. So you're not actually sure that you can stop, because I must have tried at least 7 different websites to try and stream the World Cup out in Asia, and it was nigh on impossible. Every restriction was popping
So that
up.
was you. Oh, okay, good to know. No, actually, there's technology in, and FIFA has spent probably $20 million on this one alone. We have same technology which shuts down all the illegal streams. Is it a problem? For sure, and can it be solved? I hope soon it will be solved, but there's always, if there's such a demand, people find usually a way to get around, but the user experience of going from one website to another website, this is probably not the experience you want. But it all comes down to education and building the trust that our system is reliable, you have a quality picture, and you have fun product features which you can engage with, you can invite your fans, your partners, and everything else. So it's a whole gamification model which we believe will take the sports consumption to a next level.
Thank you.
Awesome. They say religion is the opiate of the masses, but it's sports, right? And that's what SportsFix. I love the name SportsFix.
It is. And Liam has mentioned it yesterday. It's gambling, and it's all those things which people love.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. My name is Vladimir. I have a few follow-up questions. The first one, I think it is about what kind of payment methods do you have on your platform? I mean, on your website. So me as a fan, how do I pay for the service?
So currently we have direct operator billing, which is we are integrated with all those telcos, and you pay with your minutes currently. Yeah, the majority of Southeast Asia is prepaid, so you have a prepaid minutes on your phone, on your SIM card, and you use those minutes. Later, where we will be implementing the blockchain technology, you have your wallet. And we will be announcing a partner which has already created an interesting wallet where we will be partnering with.
So basically, then it will be possible to pay using your token, right? So I have a wallet.
Yes,
and a token.
they have two wallets. One wallet is outside the wallet, which is connected to the exchanges, and then they have an internal wallet for SportsFix, where they can play around. Win tokens, lose tokens, pledge tokens, and so on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Carl. Nicely done.
Thank you.